Hello, everyone. My name is Christian Say. I'm from St. Paul's, Harrisburg. And I want to speak on a few points on why I think this particular project is important to the diocese. One of the things I wanted to start with is the footprint of the Episcopal Church here in Harrisburg. We have the footprint of St. Stephen's Episcopal Church on Front Street, which is downtown Harrisburg. We have St. Paul's Harrisburg, which is uptown. And we have St. Andrew's in the Valley, which is kind of out in the suburbs. However, where we sit here now, which we call the Allison Hill section of Harrisburg, there is no Episcopal footprint in this area.
It is wonderful to have this opportunity to talk a little bit about St. Andrew's Episcopal Church, which is located on Allison Hill in Harrisburg, and the opportunity for St. Paul's Episcopal Church to work in partnership with the diocese to bring about really a transformation with essentially an adaptive reuse of St. Andrew's.
This is a very diverse community with a lot of families, a lot of old established families, a lot of new young families, and a lot of families that kind of migrate to this area. There's a lot of people of color in this particular community. So you have African Americans, you have Latinos, you have residents of African descent that have all kind of converged on this particular area.
And I appreciate the wisdom of the diocese in saying, rather than just close it down and leave it as is, or to engage in a commercial development initiative, the diocese decided to reach out to St. Paul's and to community groups, religious and otherwise, in this area to determine what is the best and highest use of St. Andrew's.
So let's talk about reimagining and repurposing St. Andrew's. On the first floor, St. Paul's would sublease the first floor, the Undercroft, to a community social outreach ministry. For example, the Tri-County OIC, as they're known, Opportunity Industrialization Center. Their culinary arts program, or some other social action ministry. The Tri-County OIC mission is to serve as a catalyst for change by providing education, training, and support services to young adults and adults of all races and backgrounds who lack opportunity and resources. St. Paul's has over 30 years of experience partnering with social action outreach ministries, from our food and clothing banks to the Beacon Clinic in St. Barnabas to the State Street Academy of Music. On the second floor, which is known as the main or entry level, we would reserve this space as an entry. We would also use it for St. Paul's functions, for structured classes, sessions, workshops, and for community gatherings. On the third floor, which is the highest level, we would repurpose the sanctuary as a multicultural performing arts center and affiliate to the Civil War Museum and other African American and multicultural initiatives to promote multicultural programming, including resident artists, displays, and performances. And the fourth area, which would be the rectory, 3 or 4 rooms of the rectory would be used as housing for Messiah College students.
We came up collectively, but also as a church, St. Paul's in an individual way, decided that as we moved through our own process of deciding how we, as a church, would engage and interact in a spiritual and culturally sensitive way to bring our message out to the larger community, essentially moving through our own discernment process, we decided that rather than continuing to look for opportunities for others in Harrisburg and the surrounding area to decide what to do with St. Andrew's, with the building, how best to use it, that we would bring our own thoughts and actions, essentially taking what we view as a part of our spiritual mission, and bringing that to life by asking the diocese to partner with us to build a cultural and arts center I actually live a few blocks up the road, so I'm familiar with this community. Has great beauty, great opportunity, great challenges, and seems to me just a spiritual gift for us to be able to step into the moment and to say, we want to help improve and enhance our community. That's the reason why St. Paul's Episcopal Church asked the diocese to partner in this endeavor. We are hopeful, we are prayerful, and we are excited about the opportunity to build this into an arts and community center that will really serve everyone in this community and throughout the region.
A parish from anywhere in this diocese and the reunified diocese can become partners in this, can take advantage of the resources, take advantage of the museum and the culture and art and theater that we are able to put on, and then resource them to do this work in their communities, whether that's far away or whether that's here. So really, this is not a project of St. Paul's. This is a project of the diocese. St. Paul's is just providing some of the resources, the driving force, the energy, and the courage it takes to get this project done.
So you may be wondering why I'm sitting here with my hat on in the middle of the sanctuary. Trust me, it is not to be disrespectful of the space. However, I tend to be a man of many hats. And today I have on my artistic hat, and that's one of the issues that I wanted to speak with you about in regards to this particular project. So we sit here on the corner of 19th and Market Street, again, the Allison Hill section of Harrisburg. If residents in this particular neighborhood want to go to any arts event or any kind of performance, they have to leave this neighborhood and either go downtown or go out to the suburbs, places like that. But there are no particular venues in this particular neighborhood where people can participate in the arts, whether it be going to rehearsals, taking music lessons, going to theater, going to concerts. But this space would be ideal for residents of this particular community to be able to come and take part in the arts. We're looking at doing projects that center on people of color. We're looking at works by African American playwrights. We're looking at works by African American composers, and things that highlight the life of African Americans, things that highlight the lives of Latino Americans, things that highlight others that have immigrated from other countries and other cultures that have settled right here into this neighborhood. So this particular facility, this project would be extremely advantageous to the residents of Allison Hill.